As the afternoon light began to fade and the shadows in the small room grew longer, Margaret Chen began to tell the story she'd kept hidden for 45 years. The story of how the Roosevelt fortune was really made and the dark secret that lay buried beneath decades of wealth and privilege. "It began," Margaret said, "with your great-grandfather and a man named David Klein." The story Margaret told over the next 2 hours would have shocked New York society to its core. David Klein had been a Jewish refugee who arrived in New York in 1944, carrying with him a fortune in Nazi-looted art and gold. Thomas Roosevelt II, then a struggling businessman, had helped Klein hide these assets in exchange for a percentage. But on March 15, 1945, Klein had disappeared, supposedly returning to Europe to search for surviving family members. He was never seen again. The evidence Margaret had discovered over the years, carefully collected and hidden away, suggested that Thomas Roosevelt had engineered Klein's disappearance, using his connections in the shipping industry to ensure that certain questions were never asked, certain records never examined. The Roosevelt fortune, Margaret explained, was built on blood money. Your great-grandfather took everything Klein had brought with him, the art, the gold, the bearer bonds, and used it to build his empire. Every March 15th, the family would hold a private ceremony, supposedly to honor the memory of a dear family friend. But it was really about keeping the secret alive, passing it down through the generations. Caroline sat in stunned silence, her face pale. "But why?" she finally whispered. "Why keep celebrating it? Why not just try to forget?" "Because your great-grandfather was both proud and afraid," Margaret replied. "Proud of his cleverness in building the fortune, afraid that someone would discover the truth. The annual ceremony was his way of controlling the narrative, making sure each generation understood both the power and the price of wealth." "And you knew all this time?" Margaret nodded slowly. "I discovered the truth piece by piece over the years. Your great-grandfather trusted me with many things, but this I learned on my own. The document you found, it's a Treasury Department investigation into Klein's disappearance. It was supposed to have been destroyed decades ago." "Why didn't you expose them?" Caroline demanded. "Why protect them for so long?" Margaret's answer was interrupted by a commotion in the hallway, raised voices, the